I think that it is every mom's dream to live in a stress-free home. I mean, that sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? To live in a home that is easy to manage, where you can spend time on things that matter, and that feels peaceful to everyone who is in it. But if this is everyone's dream, then why are so few people getting to enjoy it? Well, in this video, I am going to show you the 5 big hurdles that could be keeping you from streamlining your home. And I'm also going to show you how you can overcome these hurdles and how you can start streamlining your home today. If you're new here, I'm Kassy, and I like to talk about how to make your life as simple as possible so you can start truly enjoying the things that matter. All right, let's get into this. The first reason that your house still isn't streamlined, even though you would really like it to be, is you don't know where to start. This is very understandable because there are actually quite a few different paths that you can take to streamline your house. I like to think of a completely streamlined home as having 4 pillars, and each of these pillars is equally as important as the other 3. The first pillar is your stuff. If you have too much stuff, it is going to be very hard to manage your home. You are going to spend way too much time cleaning and picking up after everyone else. The second pillar is good routines. Having effective routines in place is important to having a streamlined home. Unfortunately, though, having routines by itself will not make your home easier to manage. If all 4 areas aren't working in harmony together, adding in new routines, no matter how amazing they are, could actually make your job more challenging because you'll feel like you have even more that you can't keep up with. The third pillar of a streamlined home is a meal plan. But I'm not just talking about any sort of meal plan here that you have to keep doing over and over again, because that just sounds like more work. Instead, what I am talking about is a meal plan that you can set once and then not even think about it again for an entire year. I like to call this set it and forget it meal planning, and I have quite a few videos on my channel about this, and I can leave some links in the cards and in the description down below if you would like to check those out. And then the last pillar of a streamlined home is having an effective budget that allows you to live within your means. There are a lot of people out there that will tell you that one of these areas is more important than the others, but I just don't believe that is true. Let's say that you have decluttered your house, but you haven't done anything to build effective routines for how to manage your home as a whole, and you haven't put together a meal plan. Well, you're still going to have stress just about every single day while you try to juggle these other 2 areas. If you've set your meal plan, but you still have too much stuff, even if having a meal plan is taking a significant amount of stress off your plate, it is still going to be a challenge to manage all of this stuff in your house if you haven't decluttered it. So the question is again, where are you supposed to start? Well, I have good news and bad news for you. It really doesn't matter. You can start at any one of these places, and as long as you go through all 4 of them, you will arrive at having a streamlined home. Now, I know that's not the most helpful, especially if you have a hard time making decisions. So I came up with 3 ways that will help you decide where you should start. The first is start with your biggest pain point. This is what I personally did when I was streamlining my home. I started with my budget because that was the thing that was keeping me from living the life I wanted to. I wanted to be able to stay at home when I had kids, and I knew that having debt was going to keep me from being able to do that. The next thing that I tackled was clutter, because that was my next biggest pain point. I decluttered shortly after my first daughter was born, and it made a huge difference in the amount of stress that I had. But when it didn't take away the stress completely, I decided to tackle meal planning. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you may know that I hated meal planning. I found it to be very stressful and a huge waste of time to do it every week, which is why I decided to figure out a way that I could set and forget my meal plan. And that is how I came up with the yearly meal planning system that I use now. But even though this took a huge amount of stress off of my plate, it still didn't solve all of my problems. So that is when I decided to build the effective routines that would set up my house to run on autopilot. So you can see how I just moved from my biggest pain point to the next biggest pain point and so on until all 4 areas were running smoothly. The second way that you can figure out where you should start is you can look at where are you most motivated to start. Maybe you do need to work on your budget, but that doesn't sound super exciting to work on right away. So you can tackle something else in the meantime, and it will still help your life be so much easier. Maybe you are very motivated to get your decluttering started. then go ahead and start tackling that. And once you have finished that, go with the one that you are most motivated to do next. The third way that you can figure out where you want to start is to just go with the area that will give you the fastest results. If you want to go about streamlining your home in this order, I recommend starting with a set it and forget it meal plan. Then I would create your routines that will put your home on autopilot. Next, I would clear all of your clutter, and that will make a huge difference in bringing a sense of calm into your house. And lastly, I would pay off any debt that you have and create a budget that allows you to live comfortably within your means. So now I want to look at some of the other hurdles that may be keeping you from streamlining your home. The second big roadblock that a lot of people face when they want to easily manage their home is they don't have time to dedicate to figuring this out and really doing the work that each of these steps requires. This also makes a lot of sense because if your home isn't easy to manage and it isn't streamlined at all, then you are probably spending a lot of unnecessary time trying to get everything done. So how are you supposed to find time to streamline your home so we can stop all of this unnecessary home management and start spending our time on the things that we would much rather be doing? Well, there are two different methods that you can choose to streamline your home depending on how much time you can commit. The first method is the method that I actually used when I was streamlining my own home. And that was to tackle each of these areas in turn and make sure each one was completely finished before I moved on to the next. This worked really well for me because I was actually able to start and complete the first step for me, which was building that effective budget and paying off any debt before I had any children. Then I was able to complete the decluttering and the meal planning when I only had one child. And if you have more than one child, you know that it was a lot easier to get things done when you only had one. I would work on these projects during nap times or when she was in bed, and I was just able to get them done much more quickly than somebody would if they had multiple children. And then the last step for me, which was creating those routines that would put everything else on autopilot, I did very shortly after my second child was born. So she was still in the phase when she napped a lot, and I had some extra time when I could sit down and think about this and create a plan. So as you can imagine, if you want to streamline your home in this way, it can take a lot of time up front, but then you get to enjoy the benefits of it much more quickly. So I recommend streamlining your home this way if you only have one child, or if your children go to bed early and they are typically down for the night when they do go to bed, then you can use that evening time to really tackle these projects. You could also use this method to completely streamline your home if you have a lot of time on the weekends that you could dedicate to the projects. But right about now, you might be saying, this could never work for me. It would not work for my family or my lifestyle or the amount of time I have in my day. And that's okay, because there is another way that you can streamline your home without having to dedicate so much time up front. So the way that you can do this, if you just don't have much time, is make an appointment with yourself every single day for 15 minutes to work on streamlining your home. Now, if you choose to streamline your home this way, I don't recommend that you go one big project at a time until it is done, because it can take a while before you will see results. Instead, you work on one piece of a project until that project is done. So one way you could do this would be to work on your meal plan first. And you would work on your meal plan for 15 minutes a day until your meal plan was done. Then once your meal plan was done, you wouldn't necessarily have to declutter your entire house next. Instead, you could just declutter your bathrooms for 15 minutes a day until that project is done. Then you may want to look at a bathroom cleaning routine and put that together before you decide to declutter a different area of your house. So streamlining your home in this way may take place in a little bit different order, but by tackling each piece at a time, you will still be able to see big results before long. The third big reason that you probably haven't streamlined your house yet is you may be trying to do it all yourself. And I just don't think that's fair, because unless you live by yourself, You are not the only person who is bringing clutter into the house. You are not the only person that needs to help clean up any messes that are made. You're not the only person eating the meals, and you are not the only person spending the money. Now, you may be thinking, well, sure, of course, I would love to have some help doing this, but the only way it is ever going to get done is if I do it by myself. And that brings us to reason number 4, that you have not completely streamlined your house. You are not able to get your family on board. And if this is one of the big things that is holding you back, don't worry, you are not alone. This is one of the complaints I hear most often when I talk to moms about wanting to streamline their homes. They say, I would love to get this done, but I have tried everything and I just can't get my family to help me out. So I think it is very important, as you are thinking about how to streamline your house as a whole, that you also figure out how you are going to get your family to help out. Because it just isn't right that one person should be doing everything for everyone. And if you have kids, it's not going to do them any favors if you do everything for them now, because eventually they're going to grow up and need to manage their own homes. And trust me, they will appreciate it when they get to that point if they were expected to help out and they now know how to run their own home. I recommend, if having other people help you with the streamlining process is new to you and your family, that you have some meetings with the other family members to get everyone on board. The first meeting that you want to have is with any other adults in the house. You want to make sure that you are on the same page and that the kids will be hearing the same message from everyone. Then, once you are on the same page with the other adults in the house, you should sit down with the kids and take this time to explain any new rules that will be taking place. And you can also tell them why you want to do this. Let them know that once you declutter and can meal plan and have these routines and your budget is all set, you can actually do a lot more fun things as a family, and you can really enjoy your time together so much more than you currently are. You can even tell your kids that once you are done with the decluttering and things are running more smoothly around the house, you would be happy to help them find a hobby that they are really excited about, and you can invest some time and energy learning how to do whatever it is really well. Another thing you'll want to let your family know is that this is going to take a little bit of time for a while. But if they are willing to chip in and help out, it will get done much faster, and there could even be some rewards along the way. For example, if you get through a week that you have been doing a lot of decluttering and your kids have been helpful either with staying out of the way or with bringing you things that you can declutter, then maybe everyone could have a pizza and movie night on the weekend. Another thing I have found that motivates my kids when they need to declutter is any items that they are willing to sell. I will give them whatever money we get for the item. And this especially works well for one of my children who doesn't really have any other job that she does on a consistent basis, and she usually is looking for ways to make some extra money. So find whatever will work for your family to get everyone on board and get everyone moving in the same direction. And then the last reason that you may not have streamlined your house yet is you don't have a plan. No matter which way you are going to tackle this streamlining process, whether it is one big project at a time or with 15 minutes a day, but one little project at a time, you are going to need a plan. You want to sit down and figure out exactly how you are going to tackle this huge project before you get started. Otherwise, it is really easy to get tired of it and to lose focus and just give up. One thing I have heard over and over again from moms is that I've tried different things before and they just haven't worked for me. And one of the big reasons that this can happen is that we lose focus and other things just kind of start taking priority. So if you truly would love to live in that house that we talked about at the very beginning, that house that doesn't have any stress in it, the house that is easy to manage, where you get to spend time doing things that truly matter to you and your family, and a house that you just feel good in, then make a plan and stick with it. Now, if you know that this is what you want for you and your family, but you're thinking, I am just not good at the planning stuff and I still am not quite sure where to start, then I would love to help you out. If you already know that you want to tackle each of these 4 steps one at a time, you can check out the courses that I have listed in the description down below. But if you can't commit any more than 15 minutes a day, I will be launching in the next couple of weeks a membership site that is designed to guide you through the entire process of streamlining your home in only 15 minutes a day. The membership site has a complete plan mapped out for you that will get you from feeling completely overwhelmed and not sure where to start every step along the way to having a home that is running completely on autopilot. You can sign up for the waiting list in the description down below, and when the site is live in the next couple of weeks, I will put a link to that in the description as well. I hope this has helped you get started on streamlining your home. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which hurdles you resonated with the most, and also let me know if you think I forgot any hurdles that are keeping you from streamlining your home, and I will be sure to add those into any future lists. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up because that really helps the channel and allows more people to see this content. I'm Kassy with makingtimeforgiggles.com, and I talk about how to simplify your life. So if you liked this video and would like to see more like it, be sure to subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it so you can be notified when the next video comes out.